Hey, good afternoon. It's Mark Schultz with DigitalAircraft, and we're here at the AircraftIT conference in Miami. It's America's 2022, and I'm here with Michael Clark with Ramco. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Hey, there's a lot of activity here today. There's a lot of energy, a lot of aircraft vendors down in the hall. We were down there. It was a little bit noisy, and so we decided to come up here where there's a little bit of music. I don't know if people can hear it in the background or not, but anyway, I wanted to introduce you to Michael of Ramco. Michael, can you tell people who you are and what do you do?
Sure. So thanks again for having me, Mark. My name is Michael Clark. I help manage business development and pre-sales for Ramco Systems here in North America, and we're excited to be here at AircraftIT in Miami.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity, and people are really happy to be back together, joining, allowing each other to have conversations about IT, and there was some stage presentations. I hope you caught the one that I did this morning on blockchain and aviation. And just a lot of people really looking for information about what they can do in their businesses and how they can create operational, efficiencies. And I saw you had quite a bit of activity of people stopping by your booth as I was over there.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good day for us so far. Lots of good traffic, lots of folks coming by the booth, seeing what we have to offer. Folks are very much interested in our capabilities as they're looking to streamline and automate their business processes. And so it's been a good day for us so far.
Hey, just if you could capture just in a sentence or two, what is the core capability that Ramco offers to airlines and MROs and different OEMs and things like that?
Yeah, sure. So we're an end-to-end solution provider. So essentially from cradle to grave, induction to retirement or scrap, we can manage all of your aircraft assets, whether those be aircrafts themselves, components, engines, and their entire life cycle when it comes to the maintenance, overhaul of those components, also the supply chain aspect, even finance and accounting as well.
Okay, and Michael, as I walked past your booth just a little while ago, I noticed that there was a gentleman there from General Atomics, Aeronautical Systems, and I had seen recently a press release that you had just won a new contract with them. Do you want to tell people what that's all about?
Yeah, really exciting news for us. Our most recent customer, General Atomics Aeronautics, they signed on with us to have our software manage their global support and sustainment of their military drones that they sell to other agencies across the world. And very excited to have them as a customer. They stopped by our booth as well. Very interested to give us an update on the project and the status of that. And they seem very excited about it so far, as are we.
Mike, I've talked to a number of vendors lately who supply systems actually for air traffic management. And so an interesting correlation is that they told me recently that there was about a 10x fold increase in air traffic management as a result of unmanned vehicles, of uncrewed traffic, okay? And so they're looking at ways to optimize efficiency within that. But what that tells me, though, is that there's a very dramatic growth in the next couple of years in drones and eVTOLs and uncrewed vehicles and things like that. Now, how might somebody else out there that has some of those capabilities or some of those products and some of those vehicles utilize the services of Ramco? How might that fit together with somebody like that?
So, Mark, you're absolutely right. There has been a dramatic uptick in the recent years in the whole UAS, eVTOL, drone space. And a lot of these providers are looking for a solution to manage those operations. It's a fairly new industry, and they're looking to basically stay on top with the latest and greatest in technology. So coming to us with our capabilities and our history and other sub-segments of the industry, they're very much interested in what we have to offer. So it's been good, a good amount of traction so far that we've gained in that entire space.
Yeah, I know that Ramco has quite a bit of implementations in the helicopter operator space, and I would imagine that the requirements for configuration management of the helicopters would be very similar to some of the vehicles that we're talking about hitting the market now, isn't it?
Yeah, very similar, especially when it comes to the eVTOLs with the rotary wings and things of that nature. Very similar when it comes to how you manage those configurations. So we've been it's been very seamless for us to be able to, transform our solution to meet those specific needs of the eVTOL and UAS industry.
Yeah, I know that one of the important factors of any success of any company in the industry is really customer service and the customer experience. And what do you do as far as enabling greater communication and capabilities between a customer and like an MRO provider or whatever? What do you do to help that?
Yeah, so we find that a lot of MRO providers are looking for ways to streamline that customer communication and to enhance those customer relationships. So one specific thing that we've implemented recently and improved upon is our customer portal capability. So now we have a very robust, sleek-looking customer portal. It can manage everything from parts requests and requests for procurement of parts, as well as requesting maintenance as well. So not only that, they can actually log into that customer portal. They can view the status of where their asset is in the whole maintenance process. They can make approvals such as, quote approvals, invoice approvals. If a part needs to get sent out for repair or some PMA part needs to be used on their asset, they can approve that as well. So very complete solution that we have in our customer portal, and we're happy to continue rolling that out to our customers.
This is a really critical element when you look at things like accomplishment of work and the TAT, or the turnaround time, and getting work done, or cash flow. Because when work is in process, there's a lot of non-routines that are being created, and it depends upon the contract, but many of those require approval, from the customer. And so having a good capability to be able to interact with the customer in the middle of accomplishing maintenance, or managing, of component events or shop maintenance and things like that, is really optimizing the situation. So by having a customer portal, that's really an important part of the process.
Absolutely, and you hit it on the head. There's a lot of time wasted when we have to have that back and forth communication when it comes to those approvals. So being able to, embed that and streamline that within a customer portal, it takes away a lot of the phone calls, emails back and forth, and all that type of exchange that happens to, get directly to the work, get directly to those approvals, and ultimately, reduce those turnaround times.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, another area that comes to mind is I had a recent conversation with a leader of IT at an MRO, and I asked him, I said, what's the biggest challenge or problem that you have today? And he immediately responded to me and said, well, on the induction of an aircraft, we get a lot of paperwork and documentation, and we have to immediately get into the process of planning. What can Ramco do to help people on receiving of documentation on an aircraft to make that more successful?
So within Ramco, we have a very robust e-publications module where essentially, OEM manuals such as AMMs, EMMs, IPCs, et cetera, can be ingested with the click of just a few buttons, and the relevant information such as the task cards, the task numbers, the material requirements, the part requirements. All of that information can be, intelligently parsed out and produced and transformed into meaningful data such as task cards, which can then be made digitally alive, as I like to say, and then pushed to the shop or hangar floor, where we can perform. Your technician can perform electronic sign off. All of the required manuals and things of that nature automatically come with that task card. So it's just a matter of looking through the mobile application, the iPad, and our Mechanic Anywhere application to find all the information that they need to perform the work seamlessly and quickly.
See, two important things that I'm thinking about there is, one, if you can speed the receiving, in the planning process, that's one thing. The second thing is, if you can actually create a better plan because you have more intelligent data, then you can really dramatically make an impact in the execution. That's really good. Hey, listen, Mike, it's really a good time in the industry because people are really wanting to optimize what they're doing and create efficiencies. And I know that you've had a lot of new contracts over the last few years, and I know one area that you're also focusing on is engine production control. I saw that you had a big contract with Iberia Maintenance, and they work with Rolls-Royce, and I know that you did a big implementation there. What do you do in the area of engines and engine production control?
Yeah, so when it comes to engine production control, that's probably, I'd say, the most complex when it comes to the MRO subsegment. Being able to receive those engines, and then break those down into piece parts, which can be hundreds of piece parts, and then managing, where those parts get routed to, what type of repairs have to happen, and then bringing it back all together, reassembling the engine and pushing it back out to the customer. That's one thing that our system does very, very well through our shop maintenance module, and also in conjunction with that e-publications module. So when we receive an engine from the customer, when our customers receive engines from their customers, those work orders, along with the manuals, automatically get parsed for relevant information, relevant data, and then with the click of just a few buttons, those task cards can be generated, pushed out to the shop floor, and it really just speeds up the entire process.
Yeah, tremendous amount of efficiency, that really comes from that. Hey, if those of you that watch and follow the things that I do and the people that I interview, I'm always looking for ways that we can optimize, the air transportation industry and to create efficiencies. And with all the challenges that we have in the industry today, that I'm always looking for good vendors that have good solutions. And Ramco, Michael, I really appreciate, what Ramco is doing in the industry today and how you're helping companies to be more efficient. I'm passionate about digital. I'm passionate about aviation, and I appreciate how you're helping that and to be able to help that be successful, for us today.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, and thank you for shining a spotlight on Ramco Systems.
Yeah.
We really do have a great product, and you've been great at helping us get that message out there. We really do appreciate that.
Hey, I understand that if people want to learn more, that you have a webinar coming up just the day after tomorrow. Can you tell people when that is and how they can sign up for that?
Yeah, so we have a webinar coming up. It'll be this coming Wednesday, and we'll be broadcasting in two different sessions, rather. One for the APAC region, one for the European region. If you're interested in signing up for that webinar and seeing what we have to discuss, go ahead and go over to AircraftIT's website. They are sponsoring the webinar for us, and go ahead and sign up for that webinar. It should be the very top one on the list. We look forward to seeing you there. We got a lot of information to present. And we have a short discussion afterwards. So
yeah, I think the date is actually the 15th, September 15th, yes. Which is Thursday morning, really early in the morning for the first session, yep. Midday for European customers, yep. And then later in the morning in the U.S. So they can go there and sign up for that. Great, excellent. Yep. Well, say hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate the information today, Mike, and it was a good having a conversation with you.
Absolutely, as always, Mark. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, thanks for watching today. I appreciate it. And we're going to have a few more live broadcasts that we do over the rest of today and tomorrow. And I hope to be able to bring you interesting information about what people are doing to be successful in the aviation industry, specifically around digital and digital transformation and the ways that we can help each other to be more efficient and to create a successful, safe industry. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.
Thanks.